Hey everyone, it's your family doctor here. Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk to you today about something that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Seriously, go check your pantry. You might use it for desserts, you might have it during the holidays, but I'm willing to bet you've never thought of it as a way to build up your energy, your vitality, your overall well-being. I'm talking about fermented sweet rice, or what we often just call sweet rice wine. Now, I see this all the time in my practice. I can't tell you how many patients walk through my door completely drained. They're exhausted, they're pale, they're running on empty, and they've tried everything. They come in with that sallow, yellowish skin tone. They're speaking in a whisper because they just don't have the breath to project. They get winded just walking up one flight of stairs. They're tossing and turning all night long. And by 3 in the afternoon, they're staring at their computer screen wondering if they can make it to 5 o'clock without falling asleep at their desk. And when I ask them, hey, what are you doing to try to feel better? They tell me all about the expensive herbs they're buying, the fancy teas they're drinking, or those $100 bottles of supplements from the health food store with names they can't even pronounce. And I have to be honest with them in the most caring way possible. You're spending all that money. But sometimes the answer is a lot simpler, a lot more effective, and a whole lot cheaper. And it's been sitting right there in your kitchen this whole time. Many people think of sweet rice wine as just a dessert, something you have during Thanksgiving or Christmas and then forget about for the rest of the year. And honestly, that's such a classic modern mistake. We ignore the good stuff that's right in front of us, the everyday staples our grandparents used, and we chase after things with pretty packaging, fancy marketing, and big price tags. I'm telling you, a lot of the wisdom that's been passed down for generations is hiding right inside these everyday humble foods. And we've just forgotten about them. Now, I always like to look at both the history and the science behind these things in ancient medical texts, which are really just old medical records from centuries of observation. Sweet rice wine is described in a very specific way. They said it's sweet, it's warm, and it has a slightly spicy quality. What does that mean in plain English? It means it's been used for centuries to warm up your core, to support your energy production, and to help your blood circulate more effectively. You can think of it as a 3-in-1 solution. It warms you up, it gives you a boost, and it helps get things moving. That's a pretty amazing combination for something so simple. Now, why do I say this is such a perfect fit for modern life? Let's just think about how most of us live today. In the summer, we're blasting the air conditioning in our homes, in our cars, in our offices. In the winter, we've got the heat cranked up so high we're walking around in t-shirts, we're drinking iced coffee, iced tea, cold smoothies, and sodas straight from the fridge all year long. Our bodies are constantly in this artificially cool, chilly environment. And on top of that, most of us are sitting at desks for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, hunched over computers, scrolling through our phones. Our circulation naturally slows down when we're sedentary. When you add all that cold food and drink to a mostly stationary lifestyle, it constricts your blood vessels, it slows down your metabolism, and your vital energy just doesn't flow like it's supposed to. So what actually happens when your energy and your blood aren't moving? Well, you get a shortage. Your organs need that energy to function properly. Your limbs need it to stay warm. Your brain needs it to think clearly and stay focused. When it's stuck, when it's not reaching where it needs to go, you start running into problems. For women, it can mean irregular cycles, painful periods, or just feeling wiped out during that time of the month. For men, it's often that chronic fatigue that doesn't go away no matter how much they sleep. For older folks, it's cold hands and feet that just won't warm up. And for younger people, it's brain fog, poor concentration, and feeling like you just can't get your day started. A huge number of these common complaints often boil down to this one underlying issue. So why does sweet rice wine help with all of this? Because it's sweet and warm. The sweetness nourishes and replenishes, and the warmth gets things moving. It's made from fermented sticky rice, which is already a fantastic food for your digestive system. After fermentation, it creates a tiny bit of alcohol and a whole bunch of beneficial compounds that gently warm your stomach and your intestines and help your body produce and circulate energy more efficiently. It's like giving your internal engine a little bit of help to run more smoothly. Here's a way I like to explain it to my patients. You can think of your body's energy and blood system like a river. For a river to flow well, you need two things. You need enough water so the river doesn't run dry, and you need a clear path. So the water can actually move when you're depleted and exhausted. That's like having low water in the river. When things are stuck and sluggish, that's like having a blocked path. The beauty of sweet rice wine is that it actually helps with both. It helps replenish your reserves and it helps clear the way for them to move. That's exactly why it's been valued for so long as a gentle and effective way to build you back up. But here's the thing, eating it by itself isn't the best way to get the most out of it. Where it really shines, where it becomes truly powerful, is when you combine it with other simple ingredients. That's when you get that 1 + 1 = 3 effect. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 different combinations that I've seen work incredibly well for my patients over the years. They're easy, they're affordable, they use ingredients you can find at any Walmart or local grocery store, and they're a gentle, sustainable way to start feeling better. But before we get into the recipes, let's get really specific about what low energy and poor circulation actually look like in real life so you can figure out if any of this applies to you. When people hear terms like vital energy and blood health, they often think it's mystical or hard to measure. I promise you it's not. There are very real, very concrete signs you can look for in your own body if your energy is low. The biggest thing you'll notice is just feeling weak. And I'm not talking about the kind of tired you feel after a hard workout or a long day at work. I'm talking about waking up after a full 8 hours of sleep and still feeling like you haven't slept at all. You talk quietly because you just don't have the breath support to speak louder. You get winded just going up a couple of steps or carrying a few bags of groceries. You sweat easily even with minimal activity, and then a light breeze makes you reach for a jacket. These are really classic signs. Now, if your blood is low, it shows up differently. Your skin might look pale or sallow, not that healthy. Rosy glow we all want. Your lips might be pale, and the beds of your nails might look white instead of pink. Your eyes might feel dry and scratchy. Your hair might be brittle, and you might notice you're losing more of it than usual. You have trouble falling asleep, or you wake up frequently. Or you have really vivid, chaotic dreams. Sometimes you feel your heart race or flutter for no obvious reason. And for women, your periods might be lighter, more spaced out, or a paler color. These are the signs of being low on blood in the traditional sense. The reality for most modern Americans is that we have a bit of both. You're tired and you look pale, you have no energy, and you have no color. This is incredibly common, especially in women because of that monthly cycle. If you're not paying close attention to your nutrition, you can easily get depleted. And here's the really important part. When you're low on one, it drags the other down with it because your energy and your blood are so deeply connected. You can't have healthy energy without enough blood, and you can't have healthy blood without enough energy to move it around. They work together as a team. All right, now that you have a much better picture of what we're dealing with, let's jump right into the first recipe. Number 1, sweet rice wine with jujube dates and eggs. This is my absolute go-to recommendation for anyone who needs a quick nourishing energy boost. It's perfect for the ladies during their period, if you're just getting over a cold or the flu, or if you're someone who is always cold, especially in your hands and feet, and just can't seem to warm up. Here's what you need: about 4 tablespoons of that sweet rice wine, 1 large egg, 5 jujube Bates toes or the big dark red wrinkly ones you'll find in the international aisle, a little bit of fresh ginger, and about a tablespoon of brown sugar or whatever sweetener you prefer. Here's how you put it together. First, put your sliced dates and a few slivers of ginger in a small pot with about 1½ cups of water. Bring it to a boil, then lower the heat and let it simmer for about 5 minutes to let all that flavor and goodness infuse into the water. Then crack your egg right in there and let it poach until the white is set and the yolk is cooked the way you like it. Now, this is the most important step. Turn off the heat before you add the sweet rice wine and the brown sugar. If you keep it boiling, all those beneficial compounds and that gentle warming alcohol will just evaporate into the air. Just stir it in off the heat until everything is well combined and the sugar dissolves. Now, let me break down why this combination works so well. The jujube dates are fantastic for supporting your digestion and helping your body actually produce energy. Your digestive system is the engine that turns the food you eat into usable fuel, so keeping it happy is absolutely crucial. The egg provides high-quality protein and essential nutrients that your body needs to rebuild and repair. The sweet rice wine gently warms you up from the inside and helps send all those good nutrients from the dates and the egg out to the rest of your body, to your limbs, to your organs, to your skin. The ginger helps dispel any internal chill you might be carrying around, and the brown sugar adds a gentle warming boost and a little bit of extra nourishment. It's a complete balanced package that's gentle enough for almost anyone to enjoy. When is the best time to have this? I usually recommend it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, because that's when your digestive system is fresh, awake, and most ready to absorb everything you give it. During your period, you can have this for 3 to 5 days, starting from day 1 to help ease discomfort and keep your energy up. If you're just getting over a bug, it's a wonderful way to help your body rebuild its strength. And if you're always cold, Try this 2 or 3 times a week for a few weeks, and you'll likely notice your hands and feet are feeling warmer and you're just generally more comfortable. Number two, sweet rice wine with astragalus and goji berries. This one is all about building up your immune system and your overall defenses. It's specifically for you if you get sick all the time, if you feel like you're always catching what everyone else has. If you feel like you're talking in a whisper because your voice just doesn't have any power, if you sweat profusely, even with minimal activity, or if you're just completely exhausted, no matter how much rest you get, you'll need 3 tablespoons of sweet rice wine, about 10 grams of dried astragalus root slices. You can find this in the tea section or the supplement aisle, and about 15 or so goji berries, those little red dried berries. Now, here's the trick with the astragalus. You can't just throw it in the pot dry, you have to soak it first. Put the slices in a bowl with some cold water for about 30 minutes. This softens it up and helps it release all of its active beneficial compounds. Then put it in a pot with that soaking water and maybe a little bit more water, bring it to a boil, and then turn the heat down and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. After that, you take the astragalus slices out, you discard them. Now you add your goji berries and your sweet rice wine. Just heat it through until it's warm, don't boil it, and it's ready to go. Astragalus is a real superstar in the world of immune support. It's known for strengthening your outer defenses, almost like building up a better shield around your immune system. Think of it as putting an extra layer of protection on your body. If your defenses are strong, you're much less likely to catch every single bug that goes around your office or your kids bring home from school. The goji berries nourish your liver and kidneys, which in traditional thinking are the storage houses for your long-term energy reserves, and the sweet rice wine just helps move all of that goodness from the astragalus and the goji berries throughout your entire system. The best time for this is between 9 and 11 in the morning, which is when your digestion is naturally at its peak. Try this 3 or 4 times a week for about a month, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. You'll probably notice you have more stamina. You're not as exhausted by the end of the day, and you're not catching every cold that comes your way. But I have to give you a very important warning. Do not take this if you have a fever or an active cold or flu. When you have an infection, your body needs to push it out, not lock it in. Taking astragalus when you're actually sick can make things worse because it fortifies your immune defenses and can essentially trap the infection inside, making it last longer. Wait until you're fully recovered and feeling back to normal. Number 3, sweet rice wine with jujubes and longan. I like to call this the triple boost combination. This is specifically for you if your brain is always running a million miles an hour, if you carry a lot of stress and anxiety in your daily life, and if you just can't seem to get a good night's sleep. It's also incredibly helpful if you feel completely drained and wiped out after your period. You'll need 3 tablespoons of sweet rice wine, 5 jujubes, 8 of those dried longan fruits. They're a little sweet and chewy, and some water. You can add a little bit of sugar if you want a sweeter taste. But honestly, the longan and dates are already sweet enough on their own. Here's the simple process. Just put the dates and the longan in a small pot with about 1.5 cups of water, bring it to a boil, and then turn the heat down and let it simmer for about 15 minutes until the liquid is rich and fragrant and all the flavors have come out. Then turn off the heat, stir in your sweet rice wine, give it a good mix, and you're good to go. Longan is absolutely fantastic for calming your mind and nourishing your heart. In the traditional sense of the word, it's been used for centuries to help with that restless, anxious feeling that keeps you up at night. So why do I call it a triple boost? Because the dates help build up your energy reserves, the longan calms the mind and helps restore your blood, and the sweet rice wine helps everything move and circulate effectively. They each work from a slightly different angle to bring you back into balance. So many of us today can't sleep simply because our brains just want shut off. In traditional thinking, your mind needs to be properly nourished to be calm and settled. If you're feeling restless, if you toss and turn, if your sleep is light and you wake up feeling panicky, this is a wonderful option to try. And if you're the kind of person who is constantly overthinking, and let's be honest, who isn't these days? It can seriously drain your energy reserves. This combination helps support your body's ability to keep up with your busy brain. I'd recommend having this about an hour or 2 before bed to help you wind down and signal to your body that it's time to rest. Just don't eat it and then immediately lie down flat. Give your body at least an hour to start the digestion process. A few times a week, and you should start to notice your sleep is deeper, you're waking up less, and you're feeling more rested in the morning. Number 4, sweet rice wine with dangui and eggs. This one is specifically designed for women dealing with menstrual issues, things like a lighter than normal flow, a lot of clotting or painful, debilitating cramps. It's also a wonderful option for postpartum support after you've had a baby. You'll need 4 tablespoons of sweet rice wine, 1 large egg, 3 to 5 grams of that dried dangui root, and a little bit of brown sugar. And listen, be careful with the dangui. It's powerful stuff. 3 to 5 grams is the perfect amount to get the benefits without any unwanted side effects. It's very effective, but you don't need a lot. Here's the preparation. Rinse the dangui and put it in a pot with 1.5 cups of water. Bring it to a boil. Then turn the heat down and let it simmer for about 15 minutes to really draw out all the active compounds. Then poach your egg right in that broth. When the egg is fully cooked, turn off the heat and add your sweet rice wine and your brown sugar. Dangui is often referred to as the holy grail for blood health in traditional medicine, and it's unique because it not only helps build up your blood, but it also helps get it moving. That dual action is absolutely key for period problems. Painful cramps, dark clots, and a light flow are often caused by stagnation, which is basically just blood that's not flowing as freely as it should. This combination clears that stagnation while also replenishing your reserves. The sweet rice wine acts like a catalyst, making the dangui work even more effectively. When should you have this? Start this about a week before your period is due and continue for 2 to 3 days after it actually starts. Taking it before helps things flow more smoothly, and taking it during helps your body finish cleansing and start replenishing what you've lost. For new mothers, it's a great way to support recovery and help your body cleanse in those early weeks after delivery. But I have to give you some very important cautions. If you already have a very heavy flow, you should probably skip this one because the moving action of the dangui could potentially make it even heavier. Pregnant women must avoid it completely. It's just not safe during pregnancy. And again, if you have a fever or an active cold, hold off until you're fully recovered. Number 5, sweet rice wine with hawthorn and brown sugar. This one is a little different from the others. It's more about supporting digestion and breaking up that sluggish, stuck feeling. It's great if you overate at a big meal, if you feel bloated and uncomfortable, or if you feel like your circulation is just generally sluggish. You'll need 3 tablespoons of sweet rice wine, about 5 slices of that dried hawthorn, and a piece of brown sugar. Just put the hawthorn in a small pot with some water, bring it to a boil, and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Then turn off the heat and stir in the sweet rice wine and your brown sugar until everything is well combined. Most people know hawthorn from traditional jams and jellies, but it's actually excellent for digestion. It helps break down heavy, greasy meals. But here's something a lot of people don't realize. It's also really good for promoting circulation and breaking up stagnation. If you tend to bruise easily, if you have chronic aches and pains in the same spot, or if you have a purple tint to your tongue, you might have some stagnation. Hawthorn and sweet rice wine together are like a gentle team that helps clear those blockages out. This combination isn't as nourishing as the others. It's more about cleaning and clearing things out. So it's a good choice if you feel like you have both some deficiency and some blockage at the same time. I'd recommend taking this about 30 minutes after a big meal if you feel too full or uncomfortable. If you have menstrual cramps with a lot of clots, this can be a helpful addition during your period. But again, a couple of important warnings. If you have a sensitive stomach, acid reflux, or a history of ulcers, you should probably avoid this because the hawthorn is quite acidic. And as I've said before, pregnant women should absolutely avoid it. Number 6, sweet rice wine with Chinese yam and lotus seeds. This is my gentle, everyday nourishing combination. It's perfect if you have a weak digestion, if you just don't absorb nutrients well from the food you eat, if you have loose stools, or if you feel generally anxious and restless. You'll need 3 tablespoons of sweet rice wine, about half a Chinese yam. You can find these in the produce section, a handful of lotus seeds, and a little bit of rock sugar or whatever sweetener you prefer. Soak your lotus seeds for a couple of hours ahead of time so they soften up. Peel and chop your yam into small bite-sized pieces. Put the seeds in the yam in a pot with some water. Bring it to a boil. And then turn the heat down and let it simmer for about 20 minutes until everything is soft and tender. Then turn off the heat and stir in your sweet rice wine and your sugar. I really like calling this the gentle trio. The yam is fantastic for strengthening your digestion and supporting your lungs and kidneys. The lotus seeds support your digestion, help firm up loose stools, and really calm your mind. And the sweet rice wine helps move everything along so you actually absorb all those great nutrients. All of this works together to build a really strong, healthy foundation for your body. This one is especially for you if you're the kind of person who spends a lot of money on high quality supplements but doesn't feel any different because your digestion is too weak to absorb them. It's also wonderful if you just want a safe, effective, long term way to build up your health without any harsh side effects. It's so gentle that even kids and seniors can enjoy it in reasonable amounts. Okay, now before you run to the kitchen to start trying these, let's talk about who needs to be careful. First, if you're allergic to alcohol, please just skip it entirely. I know the alcohol content is very low, but it's still there. And if you're sensitive, it's not worth the risk. Second, if you have any kind of liver disease, you need to be very cautious. Your liver is the organ that processes alcohol, so if you have hepatitis, cirrhosis, fatty liver, or any other liver condition, it's best to avoid it altogether or only have a very tiny amount under the direct supervision of your own doctor. Third, if you have diabetes, you need to watch your portions carefully. This stuff is sweet, so it's going to raise your blood sugar. If your blood sugar is well controlled and stable, you can have a small amount, but you absolutely need to count it as part of your total carbohydrate and sugar intake for the day, and always test your blood sugar to see how it affects you personally. Fourth, please keep this away from babies and toddlers. Their little livers just aren't developed enough to handle even the tiny amount of alcohol, and it can affect their neurological development. Fifth, if you're prone to what we call damp heat in traditional medicine, go easy on this. What does that look like in real life? You might have oily skin, persistent acne, a bitter taste in your mouth, bad breath that won't go away, sticky stools that are hard to clean up, and a yellowish, greasy coating on your tongue. This combination is warm and sweet, and it can actually make that condition worse. If this sounds like you, either hold off entirely or balance it out with some cooling foods like barley or mung beans to offset the warming effect. And finally, if you're prone to what we call yin deficiency with internal heat, which is that hot, dry, restless feeling with night sweats, a constantly dry throat, flushed cheeks, and a red tongue. This might be a little too warming for you. You can still have it, but keep your portions small and balance it out with some more cooling, nourishing foods like goji berries, lily bulbs, or even some light soups. So when is the best time to eat all of these? For most of these combinations, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach is fantastic for maximizing absorption and getting a great start to your day, or for the ones that are more calming, like the longan or lotus seed versions. You can have them about an hour or two before bed to help you wind down. Just remember, don't eat a big bowl and then immediately lie down. Give your body at least an hour to start working on it. And how long until you actually start seeing results? Honestly, it's different for everyone. Your body is unique and your situation is unique. But generally speaking, if you can stick with it consistently 3 or 4 times a week for about a month, you're going to start noticing some real changes. You'll feel more energetic. Your skin will look a little brighter. You'll sleep a little more soundly, and you'll just feel more like yourself again. Now, I want to leave you with a really important thought. The wisdom from our ancestors is often hidden right in plain sight in the foods we already have in our kitchens. We live in a world where we're constantly told that if something is cheap, it can't possibly be good for you. I'm here to tell you that's a complete myth. You can buy a bowl of sweet rice wine at your local supermarket for a few dollars, while those fancy packaged supplements can run you 50, 60, even $100 a bottle. If you know what you're doing and you're consistent with it, this humble everyday food can give you results that those expensive pills simply can't touch. It's natural, it's simple, it works with your body, and it doesn't have all those unnecessary chemical additives. My advice to my patients and to all of you watching is always the same. Good health isn't about how many expensive herbs or supplements you consume. It's about how well you use the simple everyday ingredients that are already available to you. The person who knows how to use a $5 ingredient effectively will always outpace the person who just blindly buys a $100 bottle without a plan. Of the 6 combinations we've talked about today, pick the one that feels right for your specific situation. If you're completely drained, try the astragalus and goji. If you're pale and lacking color, go with the longan and dates. If you can't sleep at night, try the yam and lotus seeds. But please don't try to eat all 6 of these in a single day. That's too much for your body to handle. Be selective. Be smart and listen to what your body is telling you. I really want you to understand this. You have the power to improve your health. The choices you make every single day around food, around sleep, around stress, they all add up to make a huge difference in how you feel. But I also need to be very clear if you have serious, persistent issues. I'm talking about severe pain, chronic insomnia that's been going on for months. debilitating fatigue that keeps you from living your life, you need to make an appointment with your own doctor. We need to run tests, we need to look at the whole picture, and we need to figure out what's really going on under the surface. This food, these recipes, they are a wonderful, gentle support system. They can be a fantastic addition to your wellness routine. But they are not and should never be a replacement for professional medical care. If something feels wrong, if something isn't getting better, please get it checked out. All right, that's it for today. I really hope you take these ideas and start using them in your own kitchen. Your health is your most valuable asset, and if you don't take care of it, nobody else is going to do it for you. I challenge you to pick one of these recipes this week, try it out, and see how you feel. Drop a comment down below and let me know which one you're going to try first. I'd love to hear about your experience when your energy is up, when your body is feeling better, everything else in life just feels easier. You're more productive at work. You enjoy your time with your friends and family more. You have more patience. And you just feel more like the person you want to be. It's about the whole picture, not just one piece of it. So take that first step today. Start with one small change. If you're dealing with any health concerns, please schedule a visit with your primary care doctor. I'm here to help you understand the science, not replace professional medical advice. Thanks so much for watching. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you right back here in the next one.